Good morning, YouTube. How's everybody doing? All right. Today's Friday. I'm off today. It's Good Friday. Having a little bit of coffee. We're going into spring break this week, so we're going to be working from the house. So I'm going to have a lot of time on my hand this week, and I'm going to try to cut a lot of content. So this video today is going to be about a conversation that I had last night on my Zoom call in my fitness group that I'm in. A lot of these videos will probably come from a lot of the conversations that are in those groups because that's kind of what's going on in my life, and it motivates me to post these videos. So there was a guy on there last night. He's 23 years old, and he was talking about how do you accomplish your goals, or how do you get to where you're trying to go to? Because, you know, things always kind of happen, right? Like life, like ankle biters is what I like to call them. He said a bill might come up, or every time he thinks he's gaining traction, he talked about how like something happens. And I started trying to explain to him on the call about, you know, you need to create a battle plan. Is what I call it in the military. It's basically writing down what your goals are, your blueprint on where you're trying to get to. But before I show you how that looks, I'm just going to talk a little bit about it. So anything that you do in life, I mean, it's just life. I don't care what it is. Things are going to happen. Bills are going to come down the pipe. Kids are going to get sick. Cars are going to break down. Tires are going to go flat. You're going to have things in your life that happens. What we call those is obstacles, man. And you have to create a battle plan, and you have to plan for that. You have to plan for contingencies that are going to happen in your life, okay? I explained in the Zoom call last night that, you know, you can't lose weight if you don't go into the kitchen and create systems that's going to help you lose weight, okay? I'll give you an example. Let's say you want to lose 20 pounds. Well, you got to get set up for that. So you need to go buy you an air fryer, okay? Put it in the kitchen. You need to go buy you George Foreman so you can grill your chicken. You need to get rid of the sugar that's in the closet. Get rid of the Doritos. You creating systems so that when you're in your house and you're bored or you're hungry, there's a shitload of protein in there that you can go drink instead of drinking a Mountain Dew or a soda. There's a shitload of chicken in there. There's asparagus in there. There's an air fryer in there. You've created systems for you, okay? If you don't do that, you're setting yourself up to fail, okay? And it goes like that with everything else in your life. For example, financial stuff, right? You're gonna have ankle biters. You're gonna have moments in your life where you get a flat tire on the way to work on a Monday, okay? And it can set you back. So how do we plan for that? How do we get around that? You know, we put money in the bank. We have a certain reserve fund in our account, 5,000, 10,000, 1,000. I don't know what your money bracket is. Different people have different reserves. I mean, it depends on where you're at in life. So let's just say you're 23 years old. Let's say you just starting out, and let's just say you ain't making a lot of money, okay? Your goal should probably be to get to $500. You want to have $500 in your savings account at all times, because $500 is going to allow you to put a whole new set of tires on your car if something crazy went down, okay? Once you get to the $500 mark, you need to ante up and put more in there. I would start thinking about a transmission, because that's a very expensive cost on a vehicle. It's probably about $1,500 to $3,000. So you got to get from $500 to say $3,000, and you got to start planning for that, okay? This is what we call contingency plans in your battle plan, okay? So I just did something on a piece of paper before I started this video to kind of show you what I'm talking about. And later I'm going to make videos of vision boards, or what my vision board looks like. I think I might even do that this weekend. I'm going to create a vision board, and I'm going to share with you what I'm trying to do with my life in the next 10 to 15 years and how I'm going to get there. And maybe it'll motivate you to come up with yours. But in order for you to accomplish your dreams and what you're trying to do, you have to think about it, talk about it, and fantasize about it all the time, okay? I think they call it manifesting. That's what I guess that's manifesting. For me, I just lay in bed and think about it. And I think about ways to get there. How can I get there? And then when I get there, I'm good. That's what we call arriving on the top of Championship Hill. And if you don't know, go look at my IG channel. It's championship_hill. In that IG channel, all I have is motivational stuff to help you be inspired in the morning when you wake up. I post in there all the time, and it's just inspirational stuff, okay? Now, this is a battle plan that I just created. It took me 5 minutes to do it, okay? And I'll try to share with you. So it says battle plan, okay? You got to write this down all the time. And if we start in April, which is right now, and let's just say we're trying to go to December, that's an 8-month battle plan, okay? Now you got to select your categories. You got to have your main goals over here. You got to have your, what is this one? You got to have your weight loss, if that's something you're into, career, religion, and personal. Those are just 5 little brackets that I put, and I put 4 goals, okay, for each one. So you could literally come in here and put overall goals, like this right here could be something overall that you're trying to do. Like maybe, you know, it's a category that wouldn't be over here, okay? And you can frame this however you want to. But over here, when we talk about weight loss, like me, I'm down 19 pounds this morning. My goal is to get down to like 145, 150, whatever it is to get ripped. I'm trying to get chiseled. That's a new goal I got. But in order for me to get there, I have to create systems in the kitchen. I have to create systems that makes me go to bed at nighttime. I have to create a system that allows me not to want to drink alcohol. Like I like to go out on Friday nights and drink at the bar or whatever. So I got to find something to substitute that. If not, you're going to fall back into the trap. This goes back to what you were talking about the ankle biters, about the things that happen. Those are called ankle biters. They're going to get you if you ain't careful. They're dynamites. They're IEDs, okay? When we talk about our career, okay? You said you was in the construction business, okay? You got to think about it. Do you want to be in that field? If you are, that's fine. But how do you move up within that field? Like, so how can you become the superintendent or the team lead or the foreman or whatever? You know, because your goal is to make more money, right? So you got to start figuring out, how do I get there? What's the blueprint to become the foreman? Maybe you got to go get some certifications. Maybe you got to learn the job better. I don't know. Career-wise, what are you trying to get to? Are you happy doing that? You know what I mean? I would also tell you in the construction business, be careful with that, because I was in that when I was young, and I got out of that because I was out there doing roofing work, and I just said to myself, there ain't no way I can do this shit when I'm 50 years old. Think about your body, right? How hard when you go home in the afternoon, how bad and how tired are you? Is that something you want to do when you're 45, 50 years old? If not, you got to think about that, man, because if you don't think about it when you're young, you're going to find yourself there when you're 45, 50. So just think about that. Construction is a great field to be in, but I think it's better if you're a superintendent or you're the contractor or you're moving up. There was another guy on the call last night that talked about doing like a handyman service. Man, if you go watch YouTube videos on handyman, there's a lot of money in that stuff. Like, because if you think about it, a homeowner, normally when they need somebody who can kind of do it all. A guy who can replace doors, a guy who can fix HVAC systems. I'm talking about little stuff, okay? Sheetrock, painting, hardwood floors, cabinetry. They're even changing out appliances. You get old people who don't want to move a damn refrigerator or a stove. If you can go do that, you can make $300-400 or whatever it costs. That is a very good side hustle on the side if you market it well and you brand it well, okay? Religion, if that's something you into, I try to work on my religion. And then over here, personal. That might be something between you and your wife or you and your girlfriend. If you don't have a girlfriend and you're trying to get a girl, then you need to go out there and meet people and cast lines out into the water, okay? But this is what I'm talking about with a battle plan. And so from here to here, you need to take all your goals and put them on your timeline. So that's an 8-month timeline, right? So you need to say, okay, by March, I need to have X amount of money in the bank for the flat tire that's going to go down. By June, I need to have this. So that this, you're basically building out your timeline. And what happens is over time, when you start accomplishing these goals, like let's say you get to your first $1,000 in the bank. When you get there, man, you start developing confidence. When you lose 10, 15 pounds, you start getting confidence. And then you start saying, this shit's working. because you're writing it down, you're dreaming about it, you're manifesting it, and your goals are happening out. It's right in front of you. And then over here in your personal life, you get this beautiful girl because she sees you doing all this other stuff and she wants to be a part of it. It's gonna happen because she sees that you're wired a certain way and you're focused. Women love that shit. They're attracted to it, bro. I'm telling you. Okay, my wife, I love her, but I couldn't leave her if I wanted to. She won't let me go because she knows that I'm going to the top. I'm going to Championship Hill, okay? My wife done told me, she said, you ain't divorcing me. I ain't going no damn where. She said, wherever, just get over it. And I actually like that. It's kind of attractive, but she done told me that she ain't going nowhere, so. Create your battle plan, man. Write it down. You've got to write your goals out. I'm going to create me another vision board because I'm getting ready to retire out of the military. And I'm not going to just retire. I got a whole nother chapter that I want to live. I've already done most of it on the computer, but I'm going to continue to do it. And I think I'm going to share it on this journey, okay? I hope this video helps you out, man. You know who you are. I'm going to send this to you personally. And then I also hope this helps everyone else out, okay? One's goals may not be another man's goals. Like me, my life revolves around finances, weight loss, fitness, career success. That's the things that I'm into. Some people's goals might be creating a YouTube channel or, I mean, I don't know. It just depends on what you're into. And that one man's isn't bigger or smaller than the other one's. It's all about what you enjoy doing and what you're passionate doing, you know? And so, but I truly believe that if you don't write it down and you don't visualize it and you don't talk about it and you don't think about it and you don't come up with a battle plan, I think you're just spinning wheels, man. And life is going to keep happening for you. Life is never going to not happen. And so, try this out. And then also you'll learn as you're writing it out and you're physically, strategically thinking about it. You'll catch some things and you're like, damn, I didn't think about that. What if this happens? And then you got to kind of plan for it. And I'm gonna tell you, if you do this, this is what's gonna happen to you because it happened to me. And I talked about it in the video call last night. And I talked about it on my last video. Once you put all these things on your plan, you're gonna be like, man, that's a lot of stuff I gotta do. But you'll start getting into it, right? And what'll happen is 5 to 10 years will pass by. And before you know it, you will have accomplished damn near everything on that thing that you wanted if you're aggressive and you're focused, okay? And then what you're going to realize is you probably set the bar too low. That's what happened to me. At one point, I had a vision of having like 10 houses. I think I got up to 5 houses. I had a vision of having an X amount of money in my Robinhood account. That happened. I had dreamed of having 5 acres. I ended up getting 20 acres. I had a vision I just had a vision of all kind of different things. Promotion in the military, I actually passed that. And I'm not saying that bragging, I'm saying that because I really manifested it and I dreamed about it and I thought about it all the time and it came true. And then when you get to the top of Championship Hill and you've achieved all that, you realize like, damn man, like it worked. And you get into this uncomfortable phase that Huncho was talking about yesterday. And then I was talking about where you're looking around and you're realizing like, man, I ain't in the trenches no more. I don't got to do that no more. Like I ain't got to have all these, I achieved everything I set out to do. And there's one or two things that can happen. You can either become a lazy fat ass and get complacent and then die 2 years later, or you can reload and create new goals for the second half of your life. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a second chapter of my life where I create new goals with this new version of me at 44 years old. I'm in the process of doing that right now, and I'm going to share that later with you guys. Anyways, we're almost at 15 minutes. I don't want to take up much of your time. My man, you know who I'm talking to. I hope this video helps you. If you have any issues or questions, you can hit me up on WhatsApp. You can hit me up on IG, Chance_Cooper_unscripted, or Championship Hill_, Championship_Hill on IG. I have 2 different channels. But you can reach out, man. I'm in the mentoring business. I'm in the leading business. I'm in the coaching business. If it revolves around leadership and goals and mentorship, that's what I like to do. So hit me up. I hope it helps you out. Y'all have a great day. I'm going to post some more videos because I'm off this week. I'm going to either be working out, creating goals, or creating content. I hope y'all have a great day. Happy Friday. Peace.